true wind somewhere between 35 and 40 knots. But fortunately, right off the stern. I know now why the gentlemen sailors that participate in Transpacks don't like to bring the boats back. Of course, when they do, they go way up north to go over the Pacific High and try to avoid this part of the constant trade winds blowing from west to east. The sails are pregnant with wind, stretching those stitches to the maximum. As you can see, the wind scoops and the forward hatch, they're all open facing aft, trying to catch every breath of air we can out of the tropical, moist and warm air. Isn't this fun? Not too bad of a performance for a 1977 Taiwan turkey. The open ocean waves are getting bigger and bigger. Lots of whitecaps in the distance. You see them breaking with froth. These are exceeding 20 feet in height. Every time they pick up our sterns, they give us a kick forward and off we go surfing down the swell until we get to the bottom. Slow down at the trough to be picked up by the next one. On and on and on. Here I have to perform a bit of a circus act in order to lean over, hanging from the bow pulpit, in order to photograph our bow cutting through the seas. We were pretty loaded at that time with supplies and goods. Our waterline had disappeared, so our dolphin striker was really striking the waters and burying the bow every time we were coming down on our surfing matches off the waves. Sometimes it seemed that the bow pulpit was going to plow into the ocean and submarine us under. The scuppers were picking up water port and starboard with each one of our rolls. We are coming quite close to our destination. And finally, Hilo, Hawaii. After 19 and a half days of sailing, we arrive actually at night in the dark, anchor in Radio Bay, and waited for the morning in order to go into the dock. Actually is a seawall where you have to drop a stud anchor and nose in with your bow to secure both lines. There is no water, no electricity, just a terminal for marine containers. But the coastline looks luscious. They are burning sugar cane at that moment. And this is Radio Bay, what was our final destination. And that little hole between two boats, that's where we pulled in. Hawaii doesn't have much of marinas to offer to the visiting yachtsman. Most of the times they are open roadsteads, or you go Med style, but this didn't disappoint us. Finally, we had a big reception from the locals. They seemed to be rather happy to see us. Welcomes like this make it all worthwhile, doesn't it? Well, it almost looks like if we were dreaming it all. Well, actually we dreamt it all. There was no big reception, except just the tedious job of trying to mend things that broke during the crossing, trying to stitch up the parts where the sail tried to come apart, and get used to be again on a deck that doesn't roll all the time. We had to pull ourselves close enough to shore to be able to jump from the bowsprit to the dock. But he was land. He was firm. He didn't move. And we are off to explore Hilo. Well, it was our luck that we had arrived there with a drought. First time in the history of the Hawaiian Islands that they had to ration water. This is the famous Rainbow Falls near downtown Hilo. It was just a little poor trickle that barely had enough water to hit the surface when it came down. But with dry season and everything, it was green and it was lush. The water following this lava flow is all part of Rainbow Falls, just walking distance from downtown Hilo. Half of Hilo was destroyed once by a tsunami, so now we have New Hilo and Old Hilo. The New Hilo has been built in the section that was washed out to sea when the tsunami hit.